Hello, my name is Megan and I have a problem with acquiring books and not reading them. Since I started BookTube 5 years ago, my TBR has managed to go from 37 books to 317 books. And so this is my series called TBR200, where we try and get my physical TBR below 200 books, which, like, I know some people do these series and try and get their TBR to 0. I don't think that's realistic for me. If we can get this below 200, I will be so happy. I will be so happy and relieved. So we ended the last episode, the first episode of TBR 200, on 315 books. This episode, we are starting on 310. I have read 5 books from my TBR since we last spoke, but it was for a video. Out of the 5 books that are in that video, 4 were not on my TBR. I did buy them for that video, but that video had been so delayed by like 6 months that I did eventually like add them to my TBR, but that won't be the case for like future experimental videos like that. So yes, we are on 310 books currently, and today we're going to try and get that down a little bit further. So in today's episode, we are going to be playing bingo to read the books on my TBR. One of my lovely patrons, Emma, has created some sort of bingo board that we're going to use to pick books, or is going to pick books for me that we're going to end up reading. So I think we're going to read about 5 books in this video, get 5 books off the TBR, and I'm excited because I think we may be reading some like heavy hitters from the TBR. So shall we just go check out the bingo board and see what we're going to be reading in this video? Okay, it's time to find out what books I'm going to be reading in this vlog. I have not looked at the bingo board. Well, I saw when the message came through and then I like looked away. So I've seen the shape of it, but I haven't seen what books are where on the bingo board. So I've got an explanation from Emma who made the bingo board. So let's see what this says. Hi Megan, the theme of this year's bingo board is books that appeared in previous TBRs, so things like TBR Cluedo, 24 books to read in 2024. Okay, the patrons got to vote for which of the 80 books would make it onto the board. Oh my god, okay, so there were 80 books that had been in previous TBRs and they've voted and whittled it down.
I can't wait to see how this turns out.
The goal was kind of to vote for books we thought you would really enjoy or at least be happy to read. We got a good selection of everything: non-fiction, classics, TBR veterans, 2025 releases, etc. A spinner wheel was used to randomly choose a spot for each book on the board. Shall we look? Oh my god. Okay, so I'm gonna choose a line, that way or that way, to pick and to try and get bingo. I did think about like randomizing the books and keep reading until I got like bingo randomly, but I thought that could be like 20 books we could read. So I'm gonna pick a line or line. So the first row is Escaping from Houdini, The Spell Shop, The Mystery Guest, Lore Olympus Volume 1, Starling House. Okay. Row 2, A Curious Beginning, 6 Crimson Cranes, A Lat's Away, Bad Gaze, How to Sell a Haunted House. Okay. Then we got Monstrilio, Sea of Tranquility, Famous Last Words, The Last Murder at the End of the World, Deep End. Ah! Okay. The Book That Wouldn't Burn, As Long as Lemon Trees Grow, In the Dream House, Butts, Little Women, Rebecca, Royal Assassin, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, The Once and Future Sex, The Shadow Cabinet. Oh my god, okay. Okay.
I think I'll take them all. What a good deal.
What do I want to go for? I'm looking at like what's included. Oh, okay. I'm torn between 2. I'm torn between the middle row, Monstrilio, Sea of Tranquility, Famous Last Words, The Last Murder in the World, Deep End, or this category, which has a lot of non-fiction in it I want to read. Lore Olympus, Bad Gaze, The Last Murder in the World, Butts, The Once and Future Sex. Oh my god, I don't know.
I can't make this decision. Please, I can't make this decision.
That is a lot of non-fiction. That's 3 non-fiction. Is that too much non-fiction? This row, the middle row, has some 2025 releases. We've got Famous Last Words and Deep End, and I have not yet read a 2025 release. Do you know what? I think I'm gonna go for the middle row. We've got some heavy hitters in there. We've got like 2 books that had been some of my most hyped books to read that I haven't read, Monstrilio and The Last Murder in the World, and then 2 2025 releases. Famous Last Words is petrifying me, and Deep End. I don't know what I'm going to start with out of that list. We'll see what I'm in the mood for, but I think that's what I'm going to go for. I'm going to go for the middle row. Or do I give the one above? A Curious Beginning, 6 Crimson Cranes, A Lat's Away, Bad Gaze, I do need to read How to Sell a Haunted House. That is on TBR Cluedo, and I have not read it yet. But I don't think I fancy that row as much. I'm going for the middle row. I'm going for the middle row. Okay, I know what I'm reading. Isn't that exciting? So we're gonna be reading those books. I don't know which one I'm gonna start with. You'll see in a second. But yeah, I'm very excited for this next episode of TBR200 and this helping me get my TBR down. Hello friends, so I have started Sea of Tranquility as our first book of vlog. However, before we get into the video, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Serious Readers. This is my Serious Light, my favourite reading accessory in the entire world. I believe it is essential to my reading, to my, my life, my work. I love it so much. This is a reading light from Serious Readers. I have the high definition Serious Light. I'm obsessed with it. I've had this, I don't even know how many years, maybe 2 years now. It's still as great as the day I got it. I still love it as much the day I got it. It is a reading light that has something called daylight wavelength technology, which replicates the daylight spectrum as closely as possible, which means the light from this light feels so natural on the eyes. I honestly can't, I always say my one line feels like a breath of fresh air for the eyes. It honestly feels like so natural, like versus the ring light I've got on me now. I can feel the resistance to that in my eyes, and sometimes like with home lights you can feel that, you know, you can kind of feel that it's like making your eyes hurt or feel like a bit of tension in the eyes. This doesn't. I love it so much. I read so much more with it. I find reading so much easier with it. I remember before I got this, like the year before I got this, I kept getting eye strain really badly because I kept reading in dimly lit rooms because I am not a big light on person. I am a lamps only person because I love that cozy vibe, but that does mean you're reading in poorly lit environments, and I find that this keeps the cozy vibe. I still feel cozy, not like there's like a bright light on in the room, like the big light on, but it makes what I'm reading well lit, and I just love it so much. I cannot recommend it enough. If you've ever thought about getting a reading light to kind of level up your reading, make reading a more enjoyable, I mean, we all love reading, it's already an enjoyable experience, but really like put a bit of money into your favourite hobby to make it a more enjoyable experience, I cannot recommend my Serious Light enough. And I have a code MEG, which will get you £150 off a higher definition light. That is a crazy deal, £150 off. So go check the link out down below, code MEG, £150 off. I can't believe it. Like, that is insane. I might get a second one. I love it so much. One for every room. I mean, it's portable. Like, I can move it around, but like, I just love it so much. So go check out the link down below. And yeah, I would really recommend getting your hands on one of these. Everyone say, hey, Tita. Hey, Tita. Are you so beautiful? You're the most beautiful. Yeah. Oh, so sleepy. Love you. Hello. Hello. How are we all doing? I actually have finished Sea of Tranquility because this is a super short book. The audiobook to this is only like 5 hours or something. It's really, really short. So I kind of just flew through this. I also think this is the kind of book you need to read the entirety of to really know how you feel about it. Oh, are we getting up? I'm talking, so she's waking up because she thinks that means I'm going to play with her. Because she's the only person here, so why would I be talking to anyone else? Eh? So, the reason that I'd never been able to get a handle on this plot is because it's a plot that I don't think you're meant to get a handle on until the end.
It's whack-a-doodle time. It is whack-a-doodle time.
It really does come together at the end in a very, very interesting way. But it did mean whenever I was trying to pitch it, whenever I was trying to like put this book on a TBR or excited books thing, I would never be able to describe it. So I think what you need to know is we're following like a lot of different characters in different times, some of which we've met before. Some characters are from The Glass Hotel, which is her previous book, and then others, I don't know if any of them are from Station 11, but some of the plot points definitely harken back to Station 11, which I'll talk about in a sec. And it's really a book about time travel. That's what you really need to know. Hello. Hi, how are you doing? Are you stuck in here? Because I've shut the door. You just want to be seen, really, don't you?
She needs no help because she is a diva.
Yes.
She's perfect the way she is.
Cookies. Ew. Love you. I'm giving this a 4-star. On enjoyment, it was probably more like a 3.5, but I can see what a wonderful book this is quality-wise. It's very interestingly structured. Where do I want to start talking about this book? Okay, let's just start there. I enjoyed it at 3.5. Like, I objectively had an okay time, but I have to give it a 4. I have to round it up to a 4 because there's something so mature and so accomplished with how this plot moves and shifts from character to time, and it's kind of like, you ever seen those paintings where it's like moving what am I trying like, it's like curving, it's like lines, right? And they're all curved, but none of them actually join up, but they're all like curving in and out of each other. That's what this book feels like. It's structured in a very interesting way, and like where time is kind of like adaptable and can be manipulated. I don't want to spoil anything, but I think that the way this book is structured and the way it flows from perspective to character to time and adjusts itself through all of these is so well done. I did enjoy seeing characters back from The Glass Hotel. However, I will say, Emily St. John Mandel's books, I've enjoyed them all. I think they've all been around like a 3.5, 4 kind of level. I enjoy them, but there's a distance between me and them, which I feel like means that I don't remember them very well. Like, the characters are really sticking in my brain, so I did have to look them up. I did have to look the people up, the characters up, and then I was like, oh, okay, I remember who you are. But this is kind of like a sequel in some ways. Like, it really is a continuation of a few plot points. You could read this without reading The Glass Hotel. I think I preferred The Glass Hotel to this, but it's just interesting seeing those characters come up again, and like, the way that all of her books, or these last 3 books, Station 11, Glass Hotel, and this, have been connected, you're kind of like, are these in the same universe? Or are they like alternate universes of the same story? Like, there's similarities, but there's kind of like divergences of plots or divergences of the characters. You're like, okay, but is this all happening in the same timeline? I just think it's very interesting done. And then, without getting too much into it, there is a character in this who is an author of a wildly successful book that focuses on a pandemic, and she's doing a book tour, and then a real pandemic happens, and it feels a bit like an Emily St. John Mandel insert of her having written Station 11 and then the COVID-19 pandemic happening, and like her almost having a bit more to say, you know? And this is kind of her way of doing that, like her being like, okay, actually I want to say more about, it's not like, oh, I got this wrong, but it's like, here's maybe a perspective of a pandemic I didn't examine, or it kind of felt like a self-insert of her going through that, but kind of written in a very interesting way. I will say about Emma St. John Mandel, like, all of her books are intelligent, have an intelligence, have a matureness to them that I do admire. It's like she's doing art, you know what I mean? Not all these girlies are doing art, she's doing art. So I appreciated that as well. This kind of like addendum I can't say the word, to Station 11, kind of continuing that on thematically, even if not with the same character. So yeah, I enjoyed this. I'm giving it a 4. I don't know what I'm going to start next, but successful. This one's been on my TBR. I think out of what we're going to be reading the longest, I want to say. So I'm glad to have read it and to be up to date with like at least the modern era. I haven't read her backlist, but I read Station 11, The Glass Hotel, and this. It's like up to date with the modern era of Emily St. John Mandel. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to pick up next. Neither does Nina. She literally just came to sit here to be on camera. I love you so much. You know that. You're my best friend ever. I love her. She's gotten so dark, guys. She's basically brown now. I wouldn't call her white. She used to be white, and now she's brown. Her fur has gotten so dark. Okay, I'll see you when I've decided what to pick up next. Hello. I have started Famous Last Words by Gillian McAllister. So this is my first 2025 release that I'm reading. It's taken me until May 2nd to read a 2025 release. Let's not talk about that.
Hurry up, girls. We have business to do.
For some reason I'm scared. Also, I haven't got a ton on my TBR. I've got maybe like 6 on my TBR, and I'm really trying not to buy anything. I'm not doing like a no buy rule. I might actually go to some bookshops this month that I've been meaning to go to nearby me that like I keep waiting to go to until I film a video there. So I may buy a few things this month, but I'm really, really trying. I don't think I've really bought many books that aren't for videos this year, or any. I think only this is something I've bought myself, maybe, this year, that isn't for a video, that I'm not buying to read for a video. Anyways, sorry, tangent. I'm like getting ready to talk about this book. And this book was probably one of my most anticipated releases for the first half of the year. I haven't really thought second half yet, but I'd say this and The Favourites by Lane Fargo, most anticipated books for the first half of the year. A book has not made me feel like this for a very long time. So
it is perfect. Everything that we work for is right here, right in this moment.
So I am only, as you can see, about 120 pages in, and that's because we are ending Act 1. And so I feel like the book is going to change quite a bit in how I feel in terms of the pace of the book. I don't want to spoil anything, but like Act 1 was Act 1, and Act 2 I think is going to be different. So I wanted to talk to you now. So the plot, all you need to know going into it is like, it's the most incredible hook you've ever heard. It is Camilla's first day back at work after maternity leave. She drops her daughter off at nursery. She finds out in London there is a hostage situation going on, and her husband apparently is the hostage taker. Is that the right word? Yeah, the gunman keeping everyone hostage. And we're following two perspectives, following Camilla's perspective, and we're following Niall's perspective, who is the hostage negotiator. And, you know, this book dives straight into it. Don't expect a slow start. This book gets straight to it. I actually last night picked it up because I knew I was going to start it next to just read the first page. Tom had just gone down to the toilet before bed to brush his teeth. Whatever, sorry, Tom, exposing your bathroom activities. I don't know. He wasn't in there long, which is why it's going to be crazy that I say I picked the book up and then I read the first 30 pages until he came back up to bed. I couldn't put it down. And then I've sat in the garden, read the end of Act 1, and a book has not made me feel like that for a very long time, where I've said some books are unputdownable, but this is truly unputdownable. And like some of those books, when I was saying that about Nicola Moriarty's book in my reading my favourite author's siblings vlog, like I had to read that book fairly quickly because I had to get a video out. I have no time constraints. This video ain't going up for like a week and a half. I could take my time. I do not want to do anything but read this book. I have not felt like this in a very long time. I am obsessed. The first 120 pages of this book are so high tension, high stress.
That was fucking scary. My heart's going pitter-patter, pitter-patter. I feel sick, like I could throw up.
I couldn't read the words fast enough. I wanted to find out what's happening. I did not want to put this book down. I'm already, we're only 120 pages in, and it's been like, I already deeply care for Camilla as a character. I already deeply am invested in what this means for her. Like, I think this book does a good job of like making you imagine yourself in this situation. Like, imagine you have just had a baby, you've got a 9-month-old baby, you realise, like, no matter what the outcome of this is, he won't be in our lives. He either gets shot by police or he gets taken to prison. Or I'm not spoiling anything because I don't know what the outcome of a lot of stuff is now. I'm only 120 pages in. But, no matter what the outcome is, our lives are changed, and I am going to be a single mother. My daughter won't really know her father in whatever capacity, whatever happens to him. How earth-shattering that moment is, and imagine yourself in that situation. I was like, what the fuck? Like, that is crazy. And so even through all this high action, high stress, moving from place to place, quick, we need her here, we're investigating this, da-da-da-da-da. Like, I'm so deeply invested in the characters and their story, and Gillian McAllister, I just love her writing. It has this intelligence to it, it has this emotional intelligence to it that I don't think you see a lot in thrillers, and I feel like that's only gonna grow in this book, and like, the journey that the rest of the book takes. I'm obsessed. I love reading. I was thinking the other day, like, we're reading some pretty heavy hitters in this vlog. These are some of my most anticipated books. And so I think these are all going to be, like, I would hope that these are all going to be fairly positive. And this end with the first episode, so just for the summer, I read in the first episode TBR200, I'm reading this, I'm reading Deep End, Last Minute in the World in this vlog. Like, we're getting heavy hitters that I'm probably going to really enjoy. Like, other vlog. I feel like the tone of these first episodes won't be as similar to some other ones where we are going to be DNF. I can't imagine myself DNFing in these books. I think we're going to be running quite high. I kind of set a mini goal. I have no control over this, but I'd love if every book I read in May to be a 4 or a 5. I've had enough of 3.5s. They can get in the bin. I'm I'm manifesting that for myself. Anyways, I am obsessed. I don't know if I'm going to check with you before the end of the book, or if I'm honestly reading it so fast that I just I can't put it down. I can't put this book down. Have I ever told you I love reading? Have I ever told you that I love reading? Because I do. Isn't it so good to be a reader and just love, oh my god. I love it. I love it. I love it. It gives me that buzz. I can only imagine, it's been such a high octane, high pressure start. I'm so intrigued where she's going to take the rest of this book and the tone that the rest of the book is going to have. And I feel like the traps have been laid for crazy stuff to happen in the rest of this. So yeah, I'm very excited to see where it goes.
I just wanna go out on a walk with you. Baby, you know I just like to talk with you. You don't have to tell me anything that's new. I just wanna go out on a walk with you. I just wanna see your shadow next to mine, sailing over pavement with our 2L.
Hello! Everyone say hello, Dida. There she is. She's sleeping on some packing material. It's from a Boots order that I did. It makes her very happy to play with and bite. So if you see little dots of it around the bed, she's been biting it. Okie dokie, I have finished Famous Last Words by Julia McAllister, and this is going to be a very, very strong 4-star. I really enjoyed this. I really, really enjoyed it. Now, I want to just temper everyone's expectations. And I don't think this is a spoiler, but if you don't want to know the vague path that this story will take, that I'm trying to say so you can prepare your expectations for this, then don't watch. But otherwise I don't think it's a spoiler. That part 1, the first 120 pages, like I said, intense thriller. Crazy intense thriller. Edge of your seat, can't stop reading, can't put it down, have to find out what happened. Tense thing after tense thing. Oh, am I speaking to you? Hello. Oh, yeah, rub up on the book. That's fun. How you doing? Oh. Yeah, very, very intense thriller. The rest of the book, slower, more introspective, more of a character study, more contemporary / thriller. And so yeah, I think, oh, that was a real yeet of that pen, Missy. Are you okay? And so yeah, I just think you should prepare yourself for that going into this. In that I think because of the synopsis, there is a world where the book could be a kind of book where that synopsis is all the book is. And that is not the case. I don't think that's a spoiler. I'm trying to, again, prepare your expectations. Sorry, my phone's ringing. BRB. Okay, it was some sort of spam thing. Don't worry. Okay. But I really enjoyed the introspectiveness and the journey. I'm not going to speak about what the kind of journey is, but the journey we go on and the characters go on in this story. It is slow, but I could not put this book down. I had a wonderful time reading it. I really, really enjoyed my time reading it. I love Julia McAllister's writing. I think she really is becoming a favourite thriller author for me. And she does this so well, where you have a thriller or you have a mystery Wrong Place, Wrong Time. There's moments of where you step away from that, perhaps more so in this one, where you step away from the high action and it's about what it is to be human. You know, in the first book it's something to do with the main character's dad that I think wow, okay, take us out of this being an entertaining book, you know, high stakes, quick, you know, popcorn thriller, what you expect from the kind of thriller you're gonna pick up in a supermarket. Yeah, those moments of humanness, those moments of real emotion, I think she does so well and integrates that so well in her books. I loved it. I had a really good time. It just wasn't quite a 5-star. That first 120 pages was a 5-star, but I don't think you can sustain that for a whole book. I think that'd be very difficult to. And there's stuff to do with the publishing industry, the main character works in the publishing industry that I always find fun. I really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. Very much not a disappointing pick for the first 2025 release of the year that I've read. Taken me a while. I have received a parcel. I don't think I've ordered anything, but I think we received something to add. to I'm choking, to add to the TBR. So let's see what it is. I'm gonna see with you. You're kidding me. Who is this from? Where is the note? Where is the note? Who is it from? You're kidding me. From Mel. Hey Meg, I can't believe it's been a year since I joined your Patreon, so I thought I would gift you this 5-star read to celebrate. Thank you for amazing community. Sorry about the TBR add-on. Don't apologise, don't apologise. We have got Jane Austen's Bookshelf by Rebecca Romney. No fucking way. Mel, thank you so much. Okay, this is all about... Just let her do it. Just let her be happy. This is all about the women writers that were on Jane Austen's bookshelf. I'm not sure if they like somehow know what book she owned or if it's just about like contemporary authors of the period that she would have read. I am so excited. I'm like gathering Jane Austen non-fiction. I've got this, I've got Jane Austen at Home by Lucy Worsley. There's loads of like Jane Austen non-fiction that I'm accumulating, and I am so excited about this one. Rare Books to Rebecca Romney sheds a light on Austen's inspirations and contemporaries in this page-turning literary adventure. Mel, thank you so much. That is so exciting. Okay, so we are at the moment -1 with the TBR. Hello, baby. Okay. Very exciting. I'm going to go work for a bit today, and then tonight I will start something else. I'll probably see you tomorrow with whatever I've started. I don't know what I'm going to be in the mood for. I'm a bit ill. And if you can tell, I feel like I didn't do a good job of like... Famous Last Words is momentous. And I had a great time. I feel like I didn't do a good job of talking about it. Because I'm feeling a bit under the weather. I've got a bit of a nasty cold. I feel like she just catapulted a highlighter off the table. She doesn't follow them. She just yeets them and just looks at where they go. Oh, is she actually gonna go after this one? Go, go, go. Yeah, okay. But anyways, yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna start next, but thank you, Mel, so much. I'm gonna have to go say thank you. I'm so excited to read this. Wow. I also need to get into more non-fiction this year. I'm feeling a bit of a desire for some non-fiction. My baby. Come say hello to everyone on the camera. We've got a very sleepy, grumpy Dida. But we love each other. Do you want to tell everyone that you love them? But hello, friends. Hello. I'm just under halfway. I'm 150 pages into The Last Murder at the End of the World by Stuart Turton. If you've been here a long time, if you've been here a year and a half, you'll know last year this was one of the books I was most excited to read. And I put it off and put it off and put it off and put it off and put it off. I was petrified of it. I was so scared. I built it up in my brain to be too much, you know? And thus, I'm only reading it now. And this is an interesting experience. So, I could give you this synopsis in my sleep. I gave this synopsis so many times. There's an island, last of humanity's living on it, surrounded by a fog that killed off the rest of the world. There's some scientists and humanity on an island, but a murder happens of one of the scientists, and it triggers a lowering of the protective system that's keeping the fog away, and if we don't solve the murder, then the fog will come and take over the island. However, the security system has wiped everyone's memories of what happens when someone's a murderer and they don't even know it. There we go. Given that 10,000 times. Greatest synopsis known to man. Greatest. Such a good synopsis.
I'm listening.
I think when you have known a synopsis so well, that is still quite vague, but so intimately. Me and the synopsis, you know, I know it like the back of my hand. I imagined this book to be something it isn't. I filled in the gaps. And it's a lot more sci-fi than I was expecting. The murder does not happen until quite a ways through the book. I would say over the 100-page mark, around the 100-page mark. And there's certain things to do with what it says in that synopsis and what I've experienced in this first 150 pages that don't quite make sense. So that is a little bit of a jarring experience, right? Where just the nature of the story is very different than what you'd like kind of filled in the gaps in your brain. I am enjoying it though. There's a lot of questions that I have. Stuart Turton goes for something, and he's so obviously going for something with this. You know what? You have to appreciate it. You have to thank him for doing something. I'd rather we shoot and miss than don't shoot at all. And this is how I feel about Stuart Turton. No matter how you feel about all of his books, the 3 books that he's put out, he is shooting for something in all of them. He may not hit it for you. He hit it for me in one of them. Some people didn't like that ending, you know? But he's trying. It's different. It's imaginative. He's doing stuff you've never seen done before.
Talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping, spectacular, never the same, totally unique, completely not ever been done before.
But there's just a lot going on that is... There's like a lot of elements to the story, to the characters, to the plot, to what you're being told that doesn't quite make sense. That is slightly off kilter. And I wonder how much, some of that is starting to get answered. We just had like a big twist happen that answered some of those questions, but like I feel like there's more to come. And I feel like there's questions I know I have subliminally where just, you know, when you walk in, you see a picture or you walk somewhere, like you can just tell like your brain is sending you like no signals because everything's a little bit off. Everything's not quite right. And it's a very interesting reading experience. I have heard that there's like inconsistencies and plot holes, however, so I am worried about the extent to which we will get answers for all of this, but this is just a very interesting murder mystery, a very unique murder mystery. I always say with Stuart Turton books, I'm not going to know how I'm going to feel about it until the end. I need to finish this book to really know. I'm enjoying the experience of reading it. But I could go either way. I'm feeling more positive. I'm feeling like it's going to be at least a 4 at the moment because I'm finding it such an interesting reading experience, but God only knows. It could really piss me off. Something could happen that could really piss me off. But yeah. It's fascinating. It's a very interesting book. I'm glad I'm finally reading it. I'm sad, however, it's taken me this long. The whole point of getting my TBR down is that I then want to be better at reading new releases sooner when they come out that I'm really excited for. Like, I should already have read The Favourites in 2025. My most exciting 2025 release. We have read Famous Last Words in this log, and we will read Deep End in this log, which are my other 2 those are my 3 most excited for the first half of the year. Anyways, yeah, it's so different than I was expecting. More sci-fi-y. I think that's the number 1 thing to go into this with expectations if you haven't read it yet. More sci-fi than I pictured. So we shall see, but I will let you know I'm finished. I'm gonna try and finish it tonight, so hopefully I'll see you later. Hello friends. First point of action before I talk about the book, maybe I'm putting it off. I need to tell you that I have read, whilst I've been filming this vlog, another book off my TBR, The Phoenix Keeper by S.A. McLean for my Patron book club, so take that off the tally. That basically like undoes the book that we hauled in this vlog. So I have gone and read this, the less we talk about that. I give it 3 stars, didn't hate it, but we don't need to talk about that. This is not what this video is about. I have finished also The Last Murder at the End of the World by Stuart Turton. I'm getting like chest pain talking about this. Listen, one of my most anticipated books last year. I'm giving it a 3.5.
Come on! Again?
But it's like, I wish I could give it more. I really do. Like, it's not a 3.5 where I'm like, meh, or like, I don't have anything to say, and I'm like, ugh, you know, average. I mean, I've had a lot of them this year. 3.5 is my most common rating. It's like, I really wish I could give this higher, but I don't think I can quite give it a 4. Here's the thing I will say. I really enjoyed the structure of this. It's a very interesting structure with that kind of memory wipe element, because our characters, we kind of have a character who's acting as like a detective trying to solve the murder that's happened, and they're like traveling around the island and they're noticing things and they're like, oh my gosh, was I here last night? Or like, were you here last night? Or did you do this last night? Like they're piecing stuff together. It's interesting like for everyone to wake up and there's loads of stuff has changed. Everything looks different. And people have died, but like also this has moved, and like this has gone from here to here, and this is missing, and there's footprints going to here. And like, it's interesting for like the characters to wake up and the world is so changed and you're trying to piece that stuff together. I did enjoy that aspect of it. And like I said, I love that he shoots for it. I will read everything that Stuart Turton writes. I admire what he's going for in this. It's a bit wacky, it's a bit weird. I love that he's shooting for it. However, I did not find the resolution of this particularly satisfying. I also didn't find it unsatisfying, which is also annoying. Like, I wasn't like, oh, that's shit, you know? I was just like, okay, fine. Like, I didn't care. And I think it's because of the nature of this book, I don't want to get into spoilers, but like, I found it very hard to really get attached to any character. And I've had this with books that are a similar twist to this, where because of multiple reasons, and there's like different reasons because there's different reasons for different types of characters in this book, I will say that. All those reasons meant I struggled to get attached to basically any character in this, and thus I just didn't really care. I didn't really care what the resolution was. I didn't care, like I wasn't rooting for it not to be this person or for it to be this person. I didn't have any stakes in the game. Is that the terminology? Like I didn't give a shit, for lack of a better term. And so, yeah, just something like that kind of leaves you feeling lukewarm. I feel like I can only give it a 3.5, you know? But there's also elements that I really admire. I really admire that it's doing this interesting murder mystery with these speculative elements and like, you know, pushing the boundaries of the genre. I think also though I have come to expect a crazy whack ass ending from Stuart Turton because that's what his other two books have had. And I did get pre-warned that this one didn't really have it. It was more like a midway twist. But like when you have certain beats that you expect from an author, like a crazy ending, and you don't get that, you just still feel like subliminally disappointed. So I don't know, guys. It was fine. It was good. I think it's an interesting take. I think if you enjoy murder mysteries, I would recommend picking it up because there's a lot of interesting stuff this book does with that. But I think like the first half of this book and the kind of premise and the setting are a lot stronger than like when you actually have to get into the minutiae of the plot. And I think there are quite a lot of plot holes in this. So there we have it. That's my N rating. I'm starting to get concerned for a line that had some of my most anticipated books on it. We are yet to have a 5-star. I think it would be absolute insanity if we did not have a 5-star from this selection. So next I'm going to go with Deep End because I give Ali Hazelwood basically a 5-star every time. I think the only offhand full-length novels, the only book I haven't given a 5-star was Bride, and I still really enjoyed that, a 4. So either way, we should have a good time with this. I'm a little bit nervous about this one. For some reason, it just feels different than like her other contemporary romances. I think because it's like friends with benefits maybe, and I'm not sure if I will get as like, I like the slow burn, you know what I mean? I'm not sure as I'll get as invested, but we shall see. I will let you know my thoughts a little bit of the ways through, but I want to devour a good chunk of this tonight, and I'll see you in the morning with some thoughts. But yeah, I feel like if anyone is going to give us a 5-star, I feel like Ali has the potential. What can I say? What can I say? She's gonna do it every time. She's gonna bring it to you every ball. You know, okay, I am 150 pages into Deep End, so just under halfway. I think it's like 430 pages. Not that it matters.
Well, they're speechless.
Yeah, that's my review. So basically, this is another romance, contemporary romance from Ali Hazelwood, but it's a bit different from her other ones. It's still got like a sciencey twist, but this time they're also student athletes. The other guy, she's a diver, he's a swimmer. And I need to shut my window before I talk about this. But the difference between previous books and this is that the couple in this, well, they're not even a couple. They haven't even done anything yet, 150 pages in, just to let you know. But like, they're friends with benefits. And they're both very much into the same stuff sexually. I don't know what I can say that won't get me demonetized. They're very into the BDSM. I'm trying to delay YouTube knowing what I'm talking about. And Ali's done it. You know what I mean? What more do I have to say? I thought I wouldn't like them, like, contractually entering into, like, we're not gonna have a relationship, we're just gonna, I can try that. I say fuck all the time. Why am I suddenly embarrassed? It's making me blush, this book. It's making me blush.
Being a bit saucy.
I thought I wouldn't like that, but there are reasons why. He is the ex-boyfriend of her friend, but the friend initiated the breakup and at one point kind of suggests that they should sleep together because they're both into the same stuff. And so it kind of like makes sense, and you kind of, you know, there's feelings there. They're kidding themselves, you know what I mean? And Ali's writing is just so good. This is why she gets a 5-star from me every single bloody time. It's so good. I eat it up. There was rumours, I think it was from an interview she did one time, that like, I don't know how the truth of this, I'm not saying this for the truth of the matter, but there were rumours that like she doesn't come up with the ideas for her books and the publisher gives her like trope suggestions and she goes away and writes them. Even if that's true, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I could care less because I love what Ali does for it. If the publisher is giving her these ideas, keep doing it. You know what I mean?
It's a conspiracy theory that I'm actually interested in.
Because you can give someone an idea, but can they write it? Ali can write it. This could be a myth. I'm not trying to picture it. What I'm trying to say is, she can do anything. I would read her grocery list. Her writing style is just so good. It's so good. It's so good. She is just so easily readable, so easily digestible. Her characters, I just love the way I love her narrative voice. I love the way the characters talk, the way they talk to each other, also the way they talk in their heads. I read it so fast. I cannot put this book down. And I have not even gone into the sexy stuff. There's not been a sex scene. There's just been a lot of discussion about it and like a lot of like sounding each other out. And it's still like one of the hottest books I've ever read.
I want to fuck you the minute I saw you. I'm sorry. I don't mean to feel like that, but yeah, he is hot. He is fine. I did want some of that.
Listen, I'm pretty tame usually in my romances. Like, yes, everyone's always gonna fuck in a romance, usually, in an adult one. But like, I've never read anything. I'm tame. I don't read dark romances. I don't, And this is a step up, and I'm like, whoa, this is something, all right. This is something. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. I'm nervous for what I'm about to read in front of people. We're going around Tom's now for the weekend, so I'm going to be reading this there, and I'm like, what are you going to think of this cover? And like, I'm going to have to try and hide away somewhere no one can hear me talk to film my end review of this. But it's so good. I'm eating it up, and I'm eating up the sports element of it. We've still got the science element of it. Olive and Adam from The Love Hypothesis have turned up quite substantially in this book. She does it every single time. She does it, there's nothing else to say. She does it every single time. She's going to bring it to you every single time. Oh, it's so good. So yeah, I'm going to go around Tom's now. I'm going to get packed up. And then I will finish this probably tonight, if I'm honest with you. I cannot wait. I know I'm about to just like really get into the meat of it. And I'm kind of scared for what my reaction will be. I don't know why I said that. What would my reaction be that I'm scared of? I'm not scared, I'm just intimidated. You know? Okay, I'll see you later. Okay, 5 stars. 5 stars. I shouldn't have been worrying about not getting a 5-star in this vlog when I knew Miss Ali had a book in here. I loved it. I love Ali. Now this is very different than other Ali Hazelwoods. I'm scared. I don't want anyone to hear me. I don't like talking about this. I'm scared someone's gonna hear me. It's a lot more sexual than other Ali Hazewoods. I'd say usually you get like 2 sex scenes in an Ali Hazelwood book. This is non-stop. This, once it gets going, it's like a cart going down a hill. It doesn't stop. And it was hot. It was a hot book. What can I say? This was originally meant to be named Wet. I'm not gonna say that.
And yeah, I want him. Okay? Yeah, I want him. Yeah, my face is gonna get hot. Because I want him so bad.
However, I will say, for a book that proclaims to be about kink and like 2 characters who like start sleeping together because they're so into kink, and like he does like a spreadsheet, like a tick list at the start to find out all the different things that she's into. They don't do any of them. So I can understand, for me it was the perfect level because I don't read stuff like this. This is my first foray into something that isn't just kind of like a tame contemporary romance with a bit of sex in it. But I can understand if you read a lot of this and books like this, you'll be like, what the fuck, they don't do anything. It's more about like the power play and power dynamics that they explore versus like doing, like if he does that tick list, doing things on the tick list. You know what I mean? They don't do any of that. They just have, they just have sex. They don't do anything like with stuff or, you know what I mean? So I can understand. I didn't have a problem with it. Oh my god, someone's just walked past the window and seen me filming. I hate it. Hi. Yeah, I can understand if you read a lot of stuff like this, being disappointed by that, but I wasn't personally. I think that, I don't know if this is my favourite relationship that I've read from Ali Hazelwood. I think that probably belongs to Love Hypothesis or Love Theoretically. Probably Love Hypothesis. I do just love them. They're the one who stands out in my brain, you know what I mean? And they're very much in this book, which makes me very happy. But I'd say that these characters have some of the best character development, character journeys, exploration of like what makes them them, both sexually and not sexually. Oh my god, there's another person outside. Look what I've read, everyone. There is thousands of you watching, but that's fine. I don't know, I feel kind of like, I'm not a prude, but I feel like I don't want to, it's a bit awkward just reading what I've just read and then sitting down to talk about it. My mum read this before me and we had a chat about it. How did she do that? I don't really understand. I feel like I can't look anyone in the eye. What was I saying? Yeah, some of the best character journeys that I've read from Ali Hazelwood. Like, there's a lot of sex in this book, so it takes up a lot of page space, but in between all that she manages to take these characters on a wonderful journey. I wonder if it is kind of her strongest book then in that regard. I don't know. I just loved it. I just love Ali. She just does it every single time, and she's got like 10,000 more books coming out. I still haven't read Not in Love. I think out of the novels she's got out, that's the only one I haven't read. I think I've read every other Ali. She's just my girl. She is just my girl. I could not put this book down. I could not stop reading it. I loved it. I loved it. It's so fun. It's so fun. And Justice for Wet. It was meant to be called Wet. Justice for Wet. They're a diver and swimmer. Justice for Wet is all I'm going to say. We're on to our final book of the vlog, which is good because this video should be going up tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Which is Monstrilio, which I have heard wonderful things about. Since I put this on TBR Cluedo, everyone's telling me that they've given it 5 stars. So I'm excited to see what I think of it. I'm going to pick it up now, literally the second. I think I might get the audiobook for it as well. And yeah, I'll let you know my thoughts on a little bit of the ways through, but I'm very, very excited for this one. Hello friends. So I have actually finished Monstrilio. I read the whole thing. It was a very quick read. And you know what this means? We've got bingo! Woo! We hit bingo! What a fun way to read some of the, books on my TBR that I was either most excited for now, like Famous Last Words or like Deep End, but also to read books that have been languishing. This has been on my TBR since November 2023. Gag it.
Gagatondra.
I really wanted to read the entirety of this book. I wanted to sit with it before I spoke about it. I think it's a very interesting book. So the general synopsis of this is that we've got a mother and a father, and their son dies right at the start of the book, and she decides to cut out a piece of his lung and keep it and feed it, and it grows into this monster called Monstrilio. And I'm going to give this 4 stars. I think it's a very, very interesting, meditation on grief and using metaphor and using kind of the horror genre to kind of like explore the uglier parts in grief. And I think it really is. I remember when I've heard people review this like in the years since it came out, because it's been years now, but I think people like don't say much about it, and I understand why, because it's kind of this quiet, intimate, dark but also beautiful, but meditation on grief, and you kind of don't want to you kind of can't surmise it in any other way than what the book is. You know what I mean? Like, the book exists and the book speaks for itself, and I find it quite difficult to talk about it. We do have 4 perspectives that we follow throughout the book in blocks, so it's one perspective, then another, then another, then another. And I really appreciated the addition of them. I think telling the story through those different perspectives was very important, because I all think they brought something very different to the story. And we also explored parts of those people's personality. It's not a spoiler actually, because it says right at the start who they are. So we have Magos, who is the mother, Lena, who is her friend, Joseph, who's the father, and then M. I'll leave you up to figure out who M is. When I read books from multiple perspectives, I want them to have a very different voice, and these definitely do. They have all very different voice, which I think is impressive for what I believe is a debut novel from this author. They all have very different voice, very different way of speaking, very different way of thinking. We explore parts of them as individuals, as people, in a very interesting way. And yeah, I enjoyed my time with this book. I will say, I think the vibes weren't right. I think this is a book. My vibes were just in total contradiction to this book. Yesterday it was all sunny, I was out in the sun, I was in my best life, and then I was reading this book and I was so depressed. I was like, I don't want to read this, because this is not my vibe. I think this book should be read in autumn or winter, at night, in one, you could read this in one sitting. It's not actually very long, and really sit with it and be with it. I feel like it's not a good summer book. I wouldn't recommend this. I had the sun, I was in endorphins, and I read this book and I was like, I'm so sad. There is some body horror in this, but I wouldn't say it's the most extreme I've read, but there are some parts where I was like, ugh. I'm not the best with body horror. Yeah, I think this is a very special, interesting book. Part of me wonders whether I think it would also be a very good short story. And that's not me saying that this length of a book is unnecessary, but I think there's also the way that this talks and this speaks, I would be interested in reading short stories from this author and see how he does them, because I can kind of see how this could have originated as a short story. Yeah, it's dirty, it's gritty, but it's got heart to it. It was a very, very interesting read, and I'm glad I finally read it, but not quite a 5-star for me. People have been saying, oh, in my comments, like, oh, this is the best book I've ever read. It wasn't quite that for me. I perhaps didn't love the writing style, but it was quiet, it was intimate, but it's also a bit like bold and bloody, and like it's a multitude of a book. It has multitude. So yeah, final book of the vlog done, and that means we're ending this vlog with 305 books on my TBR. 305, we're getting there, guys. We started this on how many? 317? No, down to 305. That's good progress. We're making good progress. I'm proud of us. Yeah, I'm very excited. I've got the next couple episodes planned already of TBR200, and I'm feeling like I can do it. I can do this. I'm so excited to get some of the older books on my TBR off it. I'm so excited to read some books or DNF. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. Thank you so much again to Emma from my Patreon for making this bingo board, and for my patrons for voting on the books to determine which ones won the board. I had so much fun doing this, and it was a really fun collection of books, pretty successful. We had one 3.5, which was the last Murder in the World, kind of sad about that. Then we had some 4s, and we had a 5 with Deep End. So I feel like it was pretty successful. Let me know what you thought of any of these books down below. This was kind of momentous. We read some momentous books in this video. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in another video. Bye!